a lot of distraction, and we're not as focused as we were. We're not as intense as we were. I don't think we want to win as much as we were. We did. We're in a tough period right now.
A tough period right now, and it could get tougher. We're in the Steel City, where the Penguins are one of the 3 top teams in the Eastern Conference, Devils and Penguins, and this is Game Time, brought to you by the Sports Authority. Good evening, everyone. Along with Glenn Chico Resch, I'm Mike Emmerich. Jacques talked about focus and about distraction, and it seems as though a little bit more has been accumulated over the last 24 hours. Chico and I arrived at the morning skate today, and we saw Brendan Morrison here from Albany. We saw no John MacLean. He is back home, and he is healthy. It is a club decision.
It sure is, Mike, and I was shocked, but I just talked to Johnny MacLean moments ago and asked him how surprised he was. He said, I was a little surprised, but not totally shocked. What happened was, yesterday afternoon, Lou Lamoriello, general manager of the New Jersey Devils, called John and said, John, we just feel at this time it would be best that you stayed home. And Lou told me this morning that the reason was that his team and his management and coaches are thinking long-term, and he feels that if John has demanded a trade, he probably won't be here long-term, so he didn't see the reason for him to continue at this time with the team. And we'll give you a further update. As of right now, that's the only thing that either side is saying.
Sort of reminiscent of the Paul Coffey situation on opening day a year ago when the Red Wings sent him back home, said, look, a trade's coming. So that may be the case with John MacLean. We asked some of the players how they felt about it.
Well, Johnny Mac's always been a big part of this team and this organization. All the guys miss Johnny. He's made a stand for himself this time, and I think all the guys are supporting his decision and realizing that Johnny Mac is trying to do what's best for himself and for his family's future.
Can't say it doesn't affect the team a bit, but life goes on. We gotta come out here tonight and play a good game and hopefully fly back to New Jersey with a win under our belt.
I think we're still, going to be try to be the same team. I mean, Johnny Mac was a big part and a super guy. I mean, personally, I feel like I'm kind of losing a little bit of a mentor, but I mean, that's something that is something that's part of the business and just got to go on. I think the guys are still going to work hard and try to keep their spirits up, but hopefully Johnny Mac gets what he wants and the Devils get whatever's going to make the team better.
So last night a telephone rang in Albany, and Brendan Morrison picked it up, and he discovered that he's going to be an NHLer in 24 hours. That 24 hours has passed, I'm sure, kind of nervously, and now he's actually out on the ice.
Well, he, along with the Devils team and management, are excited to see what Brendan Morrison could do under pressure. He had a great training camp. He's a type of player who's been a leader everywhere he's gone. He's very competitive and skilled. Jacques Lemaire was saying tonight that he's going to play a regular shift. He's going to play him a little bit on the power play. So if he's nervous at all, he'll lose that in a hurry because he's going to see a lot of playing time.
Brendan Morrison is about to embark on a new adventure, and that is game number 1, an unforgettable game always in the life of an NHL player. We asked some of the other Devils about that and about him.
I remember I was very surprised and shocked to get called up. As I remember, I wasn't playing too well down in Rochester, and this is 7.5 years ago. And the call came in, and I had to fly quite quickly, actually, to Boston. My first game was in the Gardens, and I remember that. And we actually won the game 4-2. So it was a good game, great experience, a little nerve-wracking. Brendan's a little older. He's probably a little more mature than I was. I was 21. He's 22 or 3, which helps. College players have that going for them. They have the age and the maturity going for them when they crack into the NHL. So he's ready, definitely. I played with him down in Albany for 11 or 12 games, and he's got poised beyond his years, and I can see why he won the Hobey Baker last year.
On the road, it's probably maybe I'll take a little bit, and being called up like in a hurry like that, it's kind of takes a little bit away from the anticipation. It's just going to happen, which is almost better for him because he won't be that nervous or just excited. He's just going to happen to jump into the game right away, in the middle of it, and I think that's going to make it a little easier for him.
So this ex-Wolverine won the Hobie Baker Award for being the best college player, 3-time All-American, 3-time CCHA All-Star, and he's one of the co-leaders in the American Hockey League in goals. Let's hear from this guy.
I found out last night around 6:30, and I drove down from Albany to New Jersey and then flew into Pittsburgh this morning.
Assess your own training camp and then give us an idea of whether you thought this might happen for you this soon.
Well, I mean, going into training camp, I try to keep an open mind. You don't really know what to expect going into your first camp, and I mean, it was a good learning experience for me. I mean, you're playing against guys that you've idolized your whole life, and I mean, you learn a lot of new things out there. And I think each day that passed, I felt more and more comfortable out there, and getting into some exhibition games really helped. And I mean, overall, it was just a great learning experience. And I mean, I try not to think about too much when, or if I would get a chance, but rather just going out every night and working hard and trying to do everything to help Albany win games.
A big difference between college and the professional ranks in terms of the number of games and what else?
Well, I think there's a few things that are different. I mean, I don't think the speed is too much quicker than college, but guys are bigger and stronger, and they finish checks a lot, and the goaltending is better, and a lot more discipline, and with guys playing this position, it isn't too scrambly out there. So, I mean, overall, you have to pick up your game and work on every area.
Who will your line mates be in this game?
That's a good question. I don't know right now. I mean, I skated this morning with Billy Guerin and Patrick Elias for most of the practice, but I mean, I don't think that really means anything. I guess we'll just have to see tonight when the game starts.
What line mates did you leave behind?
Well, currently I was playing with John Madden and Yuri Bicek, and I started off the season playing with Steve Brule, and we've sort of been rotating a bit, but lately it's been Madden and Bicek.
Is Madden anything like his namesake with football?
No, he's a little smaller than the other John Madden, but I don't know. He always gets bugged about that.
Did you ever have a dream when you were young? I know we sometimes try to make these things happen when they really don't. I mean, did you dream of the specific night when you'd play your first game? Was that something you always thought of?
Well, I think as a young hockey player growing up, I mean, your ultimate goal is to reach the NHL and play in the NHL, and I mean, it's a big thrill for me, and I think any player that gets the opportunity to play. I mean, I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now. I mean, I'm extremely excited and nervous at the same time, but I just want to go out and work hard and do the best I can and help New Jersey win the hockey games.
Did you sleep well?
I had a terrible sleep.
I guess that's normal too, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Okay, what do you hear from Ohio State? Are they happy they got beaten football by Michigan?
Well, they haven't been talking too much, but I was happy. I was pulling for the Wolverines, and I mean, they're in the driver's seat now for the national championship, so hopefully they can pull it off in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, well, with all of the honors that you won at Michigan, were you recruited heavily by a lot of schools?
There's probably about 12 schools that heavily recruited me, but I mean, it seemed like a tough decision at the time, but I mean, going to Michigan was the best choice I've ever made.
All the best to you.
Thank you very much.
Brendan Morrison, our guest here. We'll have more right after this. Hello,